running a little errand, get myself some Thai food. Listen, I keep hearing in some spaces, not all spaces, some ladies are looking for that, that Adonis. He's got to be 6'5", he's got to be 6'4", he can't be under 6 feet. Now, some people have some bona fide reasons. Like if the woman's 6'5" herself, I can understand why she'd want someone her height. But what I'm hearing is this cycle where people are women, a lot of women, not all women, of course, in some spaces are so fixated and so obsessed with the height factor, the muscles. He's got to have muscles, he's got to have this, he's got to have that. I will not settle for less. And later on, as I've seen over the years, they end up with what they wanted physically, or sensuously. They're intimately attracted and crazy for each other. But that hot, the hots you got for the person, and this person is hot, he's amazing and he makes me feel excited. I'm so excited. He's spontaneous, he's this, he's that, he earned 6 figures. Wonderful. But don't make that your idol, that you become so narrow-minded that you don't get the rest of the person. People are multifaceted. I've said that and said this in some of my videos before. How is his temperament? Is he mentally sane? How does he handle stress? How does he handle fiscal responsibilities? How is he with his finances? How is he with problem solving? Will he be a good husband for the longevity of life? Will he be a good father? Does he have healthy moral standing? Not perfect, but is this a person that I can work with as a team, so to speak? It's not all about what the person wants per se. It's about how do we work together effectively as a team. If this person cannot problem solve, or he's having meltdowns because he's feeling overwhelmed and he can't problem solve with you, that can be stressful. There are some people that are living in marriages, relationships, etc., and they are so miserable because they never vetted the person. This person doesn't help them in any way, shape, or form. I'll give you just an everyday mundane example. Everyday mundane example is somebody took the time, your spouse, to unload the dishwasher for you, or to clean the dishes and fill the dishwasher, or doesn't mind going to the grocery store to take that off of your plate, or he has the time. And that goes vice versa. These are little things that people don't think about, but those little things are accumulative. They build up over the years. I've heard that statement, death by 1,000 cuts, meaning they're little things that accrue over the years that can adversely impact a relationship. So yes, be attracted to the person 100%. Be attracted to the person, but don't become so fixated that you're idolizing that and that's all you can see. Because it's shocking to me how many people kind of wake up 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years into the relationship or marriage. You've got kids, you've got mortgages, you have businesses together, you're doing life together, and you say to yourself, oh my God, this is not my person. And sometimes when I've talked to people, I said, when is the first time you noticed this in this person? Oh, I noticed it on the second or third date, or within the first year. I just thought he would change, or I could change him, and vice versa. It happens to men too. And then some people get into this place where they're embarrassed. They want to save face. They're embarrassed. They don't want to tell their friends. They don't want to tell their family. We got this big, beautiful house. We've built a nice lifestyle together. So much would change in my life if I ended this. And you want to front load your strategy. You want to start that early on. People have patterns, and even the sociopaths, psychopaths, people that prey on people and they lie, like romance Lotharios, or people that are just after you because of what you could do for them. Or maybe your family has status, maybe you have money, maybe you have a way in for something and this person has an ulterior motive. Even those people, as practiced as they are, and I'll say more about this on my predatory traits video. I think I already put one out yesterday, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. But even these people, and in some prison interviews, they've stated, it's a lot to have to juggle when you are manipulating people and you are lying, because they can't keep track of all of it. You cannot keep track of all of it. It starts to bubble over, or they become impatient and they start to reveal that personality. And you've got to give yourself time to look at the patterns of people before you marry. And if there is a red flag, a yellow flag, you need to call it out, see if that person has the ability to change, and then you need to wait even longer. Tack some more time onto that. Or you need to take a step back. And for some people, this is your life. And, you don't get a chance to come back and say, oops, I made a mistake. If somebody unalives you, somebody harms your child, if you had a child from a previous engagement, harms your pets, harms your finances. There are so many stories I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard them too, where people have come into people's lives and just eviscerated their life. And it takes them much longer just to get on their feet, just for the basic survival, financially or emotionally. So again, there's no perfection. We're not talking about perfection, and there's no guarantees, but you want to increase the probability of keeping yourself safe and protected and making wise, discerning decisions, especially if you're a prayerful woman. If you notice something off with the person, do not go further. Take a huge step back. Observe this person, because there's too many people living in abject misery because they're with the wrong person, and the red flags were always there. So don't just go looking for, he has beautiful eyes, he had a perfect credit score, he's got a great salary, he had amazing potential, he was 6'5", oh my goodness, I've never felt like this before, our chemistry was off the charts, he was different than all the rest. That doesn't mean anything. You need time to see if it means something. Walk. Do not jump or fall into love without doing your homework and creating a strategy. Gotta go. Ciao.